That's true, he was working out.
Good evening, everyone. We are going to get started. Good evening. This is the regular City Council meeting of October 25th, 2021. The time is now 7:30. Clerk, can you please do a roll call?
Councilman Bliss,
I'm here.
Councilman Corbett, Councilman Fleming,
Here.
Councilman Gettings,
Here.
Councilor Rohrbach,
Yes, here.
Mayor Pro Tem Soltis,
Here.
Mayor Grafstein.
I'm here, thank you. And can I please have a motion to excuse Councilman Corbett? He did give notice.
I'll make a motion that we excuse Councilman Corbett.
Thank you, Councilman Fleming. Is there a second?
Your Honor,
Councilor?
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded to excuse Councilman Corbett. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those against say no. Motion carries. Councilman Corbett has been excused. This evening, the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Mayor Pro Tem Soltis. Mayor Pro Tem Soltis, the floor is yours. If everyone could rise if you're able, please.
Good evening. Is this on? All right. I know it's a bit early, but I wanted to recite a veteran's prayer. We honor our veterans, worthy men and women who gave their best when they were called upon to serve and protect our country. We pray that you bless them, Lord, for their unselfish service in the continual struggle to preserve our freedoms, our safety, and our country's heritage for all of us. Bless them abundantly for the hardships they face, for the sacrifices they made, for their many different contributions to America's victory over tyranny and oppression. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first up, we're going to have the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions tonight? Okay. Seeing none, we're going to move on to presentations. We've got the Citizens Academy participation certificates. Mrs. Marsh, I don't know if you want to report or how you want to do this.
I'm sure. This year was the third year that the city had the Citizens Academy. It concluded tonight, right before the city council meeting. This was a very successful program. It's enjoyed both by the citizens and by the department heads. And tonight we have the participants of that program here. It lasts about 8 weeks. We offer this annually when it's not COVID. So anybody out there who didn't participate, I would encourage you to participate next year. And you can watch for that on the city website, and we'll market it as well. So with that, the mayor has the certificates that we'll be presenting.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for coming to Citizens Academy. It was a great presentation from all the different department heads. About an hour and a half ago, council was able to sit and talk to all the participants this evening, and it's a really great program. So I want to give everybody their certificate, starting alphabetically with Toya Aaron. Next up, we have Kelly Edmondson. Jeffrey Hilliard. Alexandra, and I'm so sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Starts with an I. Thank you so much for coming. Elizabeth Kuhn. Cowan, sorry. That's why I don't pronounce it. I don't know how. Sorry about that. Thank you so much for coming out. I got it with Grafstein my whole life. Deliza Lee. Amy Lewis. Thank you for coming out and participating. William Meir. Thank you for participating. And Quinn Wright. Participating. And then we have three other people who, or no, I think we have four other people who are not able to make it this evening. I just want to recognize them as well. There's Charles Kemp, Kimberly Kemp, Barb Lelly, and Jessica Tutt. So thank you to everybody who participated. And if I could just ask everybody who did participate in Citizens Academy, if you could just come up here for a moment, please. We're going to, if you want to bring your certificates, we're going to do a group photo.
Can I photo bomb?
Yeah.
That's why I sit here.
All right, and for the participants who weren't able to make it this evening, we will get them their certificates as well. But thank you, everyone who did participate, and thank you to the department heads for the presentations that they had. Next up, we have meeting open to the public. This is the opportunity for anyone in the public to speak. Ask that you come up to the podium, you address me, keep your comments to 3 minutes. If you could just give your name and any kind of identifying anything, address, business, whatever your affiliation with the city. With that, meeting is open to the public. I've got two people, so whomever wants to come first. That's fine.
Thank you. My name is Margene Scott, 1850 Castlewood, retired councilwoman, and I wanted to say that the Castlewood crisis turned into something very, very acceptable, thanks to the work of Sean and Greg and Corey, and all the people that worked on it, the engineers, Nowak and Prowse, and their representative, Tim Marlowe. But I know I was very apprehensive about having the street all torn up and not being able to get to it very easily. So I used my wheelchair and to get to the car, and the progress went easily and expectedly as they were told. So, and Tim would come and tell me what the next stage was and what to expect next. So I was very happy about that. But I would like to say a special thank you to Swanson Funeral Home, who lent their parking lot, the rear of their parking lot, to many of our Castlewood residents who were able to park their car there and walk around the wall. It was really wonderful. So many of our residents had some had 5 cars that they had to park during the term, and it was estimated to be 6 weeks, but it only turned out to be 4 weeks. And I was never so happy when I drove that car in the garage, and I'll take it back there tonight. So thank you, everybody, for all the great job that you did, and Castlewood is beautiful now. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you.
Jim Capizzo. What's that park at by the St. Vincent Ferry Church, that big park? If you go down Herbert, and then keep going, there's a big park down there.
Rosie's Park?
Yeah, they cut about half a dozen large trees down by the school over there. I noticed.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, please, ma'am, go ahead.
I own a property at 898 East Roland, and my parents bought it in 1966. And my nephew lives there, which I raised. Matter of fact, I didn't just raise him, I was legal guardian of him. And he had a stepmother for his late teens that didn't like him, and she called the city and said, oh, someone owns it and they're renting it. Well, I'm not renting it. And I know that the city came out and told me I had to get a renter's license, which I had been for the last couple years, but I would like to get an exemption. I know that in your, I guess it's an ordinance, or it does not specify nephew as one of the ones that can live there without you being a renter. But I don't get any rent. I raised my nephew. Matter of fact, I even brought papers. I didn't keep papers. This is on the internet, which is where I got this paper. It shows that I had legal guardianship of him when he was, and then that I raised him, and that he would be like a son. Basically, he is my son, and he lives there. So I'm asking for an exemption to have to obtain a renter's license.
Okay, ma'am, that's not something that we could make a decision on tonight, but if you want to give me any paperwork that you have, I can ask staff to look into that for you.
Okay, well, I did speak to City Hall, and this is where they told me they came. I talked to the building officials, 2 of them.
Okay. We can't make a decision on something like that tonight, but if you want to give me the information.
Well, and he made a comment that he probably couldn't make a decision, but because it didn't specify nephew, there's nothing that nobody could do. I would have to go before the council.
Okay,
I'll give you what was sent to me.
sure.
That's the information
Okay.
meeting. And then this is on the internet. I just printed it. My nephew lives there. These are the 2 nephews that I raised.
Okay.
And legal guardianship of them. Send them to school and everything. So that's why I'm just asking to not have to be a landlord. I don't get rent. I don't get any monies for that.
Okay.
It's just my son lives there.
Okay, thank you. All right, is there anyone else who had something they wanted to mention at public comment this evening? Yeah, ma'am, please go ahead.
Hi, Council. Amy Lewis, 27097 Palmer. I don't know if I'm speaking for the rest of the people that attended Citizens Academy with me, but I did want to come and speak at council and say thank you very much for the city for putting it on, all the employees from Parks and Rec to the Adult Activity Center, the library, the clerk's office, everywhere. We learned so much, and I just wanted to say at City Council that I would recommend it, any citizens in the future that were looking to learn way more about the city, I would encourage them to participate in the program in future times when we hold it. So thank you so much again.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to say anything this evening? Yep, please, sir, go ahead.
Good evening, guys. My name is Quinn Wright, 906 Parliament Avenue. I'm also chairman of the Human Relations and Equity Commission. I just want to echo first the sentiments of Amy. This is a phenomenal program. The Citizens Academy is phenomenal, and it's something that I encourage everyone to do as well. I also wanted to bring 2 things to your attention. I've been wearing these wonderful kicks all month because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so it's something that impacts us all. If you can, I would encourage everyone to kind of help donate to the cause or bring awareness to it because it's something that impacts us all. The second thing I want to address is something that impacts this community and a lot of communities. It's also Bullying Awareness Month for the month of October. And I wouldn't be honest if I didn't say I have experienced it before and even now for various reasons. Cyberbullying is a huge problem, and it's something that I think that we need to make sure that we are not doing, but we're also encouraging others to not do as well. And I would encourage us as a city to perhaps maybe take a look at doing something like making sure that anyone who serves on any board or any position representing the city also falls under the social media policy. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Is there anyone else who has any comments for council this evening? All right, seeing none, I'm going to close public comment. Clerk, were there any emails?
Oh, there were.
There are not. All right, thank you everyone for participating this evening. Up next, we have communications. First, we have resignation from the Elected Officials Compensation Commission. Can I have a motion from council to accept the resignation of Deborah Halazer? She has left the state.
Your Honor,
Councilor Rohrbach?
I move that we accept the resignation of Deborah Hauser from the Elected Officials Compensation Commission and declare the seat vacant and issue the appropriate thanks.
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
Your Honor,
Councilman Bliss?
I support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded to accept the resignation. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries 6-0. Resignation is accepted. Next, we have reports from the city clerk. We have 2 appointments this evening. Should I just make the appointments? Or say no? All right. Okay, so we have 2 different groups. We have the Elected Officials Compensation Commission that needs appointments, and those are mayor appointments. So if I could have somebody make a motion to confirm my mayor's appointments to the Elected Officials Compensation Commission, I would like to see appointed Lori Geralds, Marie Bessler, Kevin Wright, and Salisa Fortune-Hilai.
Your Honor.
And I'll just clarify that those are for the terms to be, as I read them, to be expiring in August 2028, August 2026, August 2025, and August 2023. If I can get a motion.
Your Honor.
Councilor Rohrbach?
I move council approves the mayor's appointments as stated to the Elected Officials Compensation Commission.
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
Your Honor, I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Councilman Fleming. All right, motion has been made and seconded to approve my appointments for the term stated. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those against say no. Motion carries 6-0. All the appointments have been made. Congratulations to everyone who was appointed. Next up, we have appointment to the Active Adult Advisory Board. I believe this is not a mayor's appointment. Okay, so if I can have a motion from council to make an appointment to the Active Adult Advisory Board.
Ms. Grafstein,
Councilman Gettings?
I'd like to make an appointment for Marie Bessler for the Adult Senior Activity Board.
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
Your Honor,
Mayor Pro Tem Soltis?
second, please.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Mr. Sherman?
it's for a term to expire August 31st, 2024. Maker of the motion and support agree.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Is there any other discussion? All right, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries 6-0. Congratulations, Ms. Besler, for your appointment. Next up, we have bid award purchases. We have 3 items this evening. First up from the DPS Director, acceptance of Game Time Playscape grant and authorization to purchase a playscape for Rosie's Park. Mrs. Marsh, a report?
Yes, staff is encouraged to aggressively search for grant opportunities to fund budget expenses before we spend any tax dollars. Over the past 3 years, city staff has successfully sought out and applied for grant opportunities citywide for items that follow our strategic plan and budget. Recently, Game Time and Sinclair Recreation released a matching grant opportunity for playscapes. Sinclair Recreation was the successful bidder for the recent city purchases for the Edison and Exchange Park playscapes. Adam Azorzek and Sean Ballantyne submitted for this matching grant application program for the Rosie's Playscape, which is currently being phase funded in the budget with the expectation of the final phase being budgeted next year at an additional $100,000. Last week, we were notified that we were successful with this grant application and will be awarded $64,841.66 towards this playscape. While this is less than the $100,000 of the Phase 2 funding, it is still a significant amount. Under the conditions of this grant, the playscape must be ordered no later than November 1st, 2021, with payment in full. Therefore, staff and I are requesting approval to accept the grant from Game Time for $64,841.66 and to purchase the playscape for Rosie's Park this fiscal year for $221,967.06 from Sinclair Recreation. This playscape would have identical features to the playscape recently purchased at Edison Park. The current budget only includes Phase 1 funding for $100,000. Therefore, this will require a budget amendment of $57,125. However, the acceptance of this grant and purchasing the playscape now instead of in July will result in a minimum savings over our projected budget of $42,000. In addition, according to Sinclair Recreation representatives, the cost of playscapes is anticipated to increase approximately 9% next year, meaning accepting this grant and purchasing this year will result in even more savings. So just to clarify, the playscape is a total of $221,967. We're receiving a grant for $64,841, resulting in a total out-of-pocket city cost of $157,125. If council concurs with the staff recommendation to move this purchase forward and take advantage of the grant, the following motions would be needed. We would need a motion to approve a budget amendment to 101-757-9870 for $57,125, and that would take 5 affirmative votes to pass. And a motion would also need to be made to accept the grant from Game Time for $64,841.66 and approve the proposed playscape from Sinclair Recreation for $221,967.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Marsh. So this is going to go in 2 different motions. The first one for the budget amendment, and we're going to need 5 people to approve that for it to go through, and then we're going to need the second vote. So I will ask, what is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Council Rohrbach.
I move that council approves the budget amendment to account 101-757-9870 for $57,125.
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
Ms. Grafstein,
Councilman Gettings?
I will second the motion.
All right, thank you. Motion has been made and seconded to approve the budget amendment. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All against, say no. All right, motion carries as 6-0. That has been approved. And can I ask, what is the wish of council for the second item?
Your Honor,
Council Rohrbach.
I move council approves the acceptance of the Game Time grant for $64,841.66 and purchase the proposed playscape from Sinclair Recreation for $221,967.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Ms. Grafstein, I'll second the motion.
All right, thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor,
Please.
I just would like to say thank you to staff for finding this opportunity, for applying for it, and making sure that we were getting the best opportunity and seizing the opportunity that was before us. When I've looked at, and we've talked to DPS about park improvements and things like that, and we've put it in this strategic plan to improve those parks over the next 10 years, there's $4 million worth of improvements that are needed. These things are expensive, so every little bit counts, and $64,841.66 is not a little bit. So thank you to staff. Please, Corey, bring my thanks to your staff, and Adam, I think he's here somewhere. Thank you so much for all your work on that.
All right, thank you. Is there any other discussion? All right, I would just like to echo my thanks as well. Every little bit helps. Wherever we can get money, that's always going to help. So with that, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. Next up, also DPS Director, the scheduled replacement of DPS pickup truck number 436. Mrs. Marsh?
The adopted fiscal 2022 budget includes the scheduled replacement of Vehicle 436, a 2004 Chevy Silverado, funded through the Streets Division. This truck has provided 18 years of frontline service and has reached the point where it's at its end of life. In addition, the vehicle is rated in poor condition, warranting priority replacement. This is a general-use pickup truck used year-round for various streets and facilities tasks, particularly during the winter snow plowing. This truck is being considered for purchase rather than lease due to the trial nature of the leasing program. It is still too early to tell if we want to continue with leasing throughout the city. Staff and I recommend that council award the purchase of one Chevy Silverado 2500 pickup truck to Todd Wenzel Chevrolet of Hudsonville, Michigan for $30,198 under the Oakland County Cooperative bid. Funding is currently budgeted and available.
All right, thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Councilman Bliss?
I move that we award the purchase of one Chevy Silverado 2500 pickup truck to Todd Wenzel Chevrolet of Hudsonville, Michigan in the amount of $30,198 under the Oakland County Cooperative bid.
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
Your Honor,
Mayor Pro Tem Soltis?
support.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, Your Honor?
Please.
Yeah, where's it at? What city?
Hudsonville?
Where's Hudsonville? Are they driving it down to us, or are we picking it up?
That's a question for Corey.
Mr.
I think
Almas?
they deliver it, but
How far is that, Hudsonville?
I'll have to check on Google Earth.
Okay. I put you on the spot again, didn't I? Sorry.
Yeah, you put me on the spot.
I retract that question, Your Honor.
Okay, is there any other discussion from council? All right, so just for the record, Hudsonville is about 2 hours away, and for those of you wondering, it is not where they make the ice cream. It used to be, but they moved the ice cream factory. So, any other discussion?
Thank you.
He's definitely on my
All right. Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. All right, motion carries 6-0. And then we have item 3, also the DPS Director, a scheduled replacement of Fire Department Utility Truck number 704.
the adopted 2022 budget includes the scheduled replacement of the Fire Department's utility truck 704, funded through the Fire Department. This is a 2001 Chevy Silverado 3500 dually, currently serviced at Fire Station 2. This truck has provided 20 years of frontline service and is in dire need of replacement. In addition, the vehicle has a poor condition rating. This proposal also calls to right-size the truck. Departmental operations have shifted to where a full-size dually is no longer necessary and would be oversized and underutilized in the future. As with the other vehicles brought forward tonight for council's consideration, this vehicle is being considered for purchase rather than lease due to the trial nature of our leasing program. Staff and I recommend that council award the purchase of one Chevy Silverado 1500 pickup truck to Todd Wenzel Chevrolet, also of Hudsonville, Michigan, for $31,065 under the Oakland County Cooperative bid. Funding is currently budgeted and available for this purchase.
All right, thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Councilman Bliss?
I move that we award the purchase of one Chevy Silverado 1500 pickup truck to Todd Wenzel Chevrolet of Hudsonville, Michigan, which I'm told is 2 hours away, in the amount of $31,065 under the Oakland County Cooperative bid.
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
Your Honor,
Mayor Pro Tem?
I second it.
All right. Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against say no. All right, motion carries 6-0. Thank you. Next up, we have 2 items for ordinances. Both of these are second reading. First one is from the CED Director, ordinance number 2170, the zoning text amendment 21-06, the outdoor seating. Mrs. Marsh?
Yes, ordinance 2170 is a zoning text amendment to introduce use-specific standards for outdoor dining seating areas to more appropriately align with the city's current site plan review process. Proposed use-specific standards pertain to location, parking, shade structures, and maintenance. Additionally, the proposed amendments allow for supporting function outdoor entertainment subject to noise standards. Finally, the proposed amendments aim to clarify the standards and review procedures for outdoor dining. The Planning Commission reviewed zoning text amendment 2106 and held a public hearing on September the 21st before recommending City Council adopt the proposed amendment on second reading.
All right, thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Councilman Bliss?
I move that we adopt ordinance 2170 on second reading.
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
Your Honor,
Counselor Rohrbach?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Your Honor?
Please.
Mayor Grafstein and I serve on the Planning Commission, and a lot of the discussion as we kind of compiled this was simply geared towards how do we make it easier for businesses, particularly restaurants, to grow in our city. It's no surprise through the pandemic that it's been a challenging time if you own a restaurant. And so this ordinance, along with some of the other changes that we've been working on through Planning Commission, is just aimed to make their lives a little bit easier. You know, if they don't sell alcohol, they can go ahead and have outdoor entertainment. It could just be a speaker at a coffee house, but outside they can have outdoor seating without having to go through a really prolonged and difficult process. And so I'm really proud of this. I'm thankful for the rest of the Planning Commission. There's a lot of really bright minds on that committee, and I think they've really contributed to putting something special together that I think really shows that we are the city of progress and shows that we're able to take care of those restaurant owners, many of which who contribute so much to our community in ways of, you know, they donate to our schools and our community groups, into our programs and our festivals, our parades. And so it's nice that we're able to make it a little easier for them to grow and expand and change with the times. That's it, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Is there any other discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those against say no. All right, motion carries 6-0. And then finally, we have from the clerk, ordinance 2171, the amendment to Chapter 7, the business licensing. It states on the agenda that it's the first reading. That was actually the last meeting, so this is our second reading. All right, Mrs. Marsh?
Following the town hall meeting in February 2020 to address public concerns related to business issues on 10 Mile, staff was asked to research and propose changes to the city's business ordinance to expand the licensing of all businesses within the city. Several other communities also license all businesses, including the cities of Grosse Pointe Woods, Hamtramck, Wyoming, and Sterling Heights. After reviewing other communities' ordinances and discussing with our department heads to update current needs, a comprehensive revision of the business license ordinance is being proposed. The proposed changes to the business license ordinance represent a comprehensive revision to the Code of Ordinances by requiring all businesses to be licensed in the city. It clarifies and consolidates language, it removes obsolete regulations, and it updates language to mirror state law. It replaces the current fee calculation with a uniform rate for most business types, adds a category for nuisance businesses, requires state certification documentation, provides for seasonal permits for outdoor activities for already licensed businesses, repeals the articles that are obsolete or covered under other regulations, and includes licensing and inspection for medical marijuana caregiver operations. Staff and I recommend the approval of Ordinance 2171, Amendment to Chapter 7 to the Licensing and Regulate Business in the City of Madison Heights on second reading.
Thank you. What is the wish of council?
Your Honor,
Councilor Rohrbach?
I move that we approve Ordinance 2171, amendments to Chapter 7 on second reading.
Great. Thank you. Is there a second?
Your Honor, I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Councilman Fleming. Motion has been made and seconded. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? All right, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has worked on this. 35 pages. This has been a long time coming. There are a lot of things in here that a lot of people thought were in here, and they're just really administrative, but what it's doing is it's helping the city and it's helping the businesses. So I appreciate everyone who has worked on this, and I appreciate Mrs. Marsh not reading the 35 pages this evening. Thank you for that. So if there is no further discussion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those against say no. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you. We have the regular city council meeting minutes from October 11th, 2021. If anyone on council wants to make a motion to approve those.
Your Honor,
Councilman Bliss?
so moved as printed.
Thank you. Is there support? Second?
Your Honor.
Councilor
I'll
Rohrbach?
second.
Thank you. A motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those against say no. All right, motion carries 6-0. Thank you. And that is it for the regular meeting. I invite closing comments, starting with Councilman Bliss.
Yes, Your Honor. I kind of just want to highlight how excellent this meeting was, but kind of in stealth mode, right? Like, we've been here for 35 minutes, and part of that was just people coming up to get their certifications, and congratulations, by the way. But what's great about it is in about a half hour, the amount of impact that we've just been able to make on the community is huge. Our DPS and our fire department got brand new equipment in trucks that we were able to provide them. There's a new playscape coming in Rosie's Park from a grant that we were able to put in. We appointed some new people to some critical boards, and we passed 2 ordinances that clarify language and make it easier for businesses to grow in our city. And we did all that in a half hour. So I want to thank my peers on council, city staff, all of the hardworking members of our boards and commissions for really queuing this meeting up for us to make it so where we can make this big of an impact in, call it 30 minutes. That's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Bliss. Councilman Gettings?
Yes, Your Honor. Just to remind everybody, next Tuesday is Election Day, and can you vote Saturday, Cheryl, at your office, or no? What's the hours?
Yes, you can, our office will be open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday for election business only. You can come in and get your absentee ballot if you'd like, or register to vote.
Thank you, ma'am. So encourage everybody to come out and vote, and that's all, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Sherman, anything from the Attorney's Office?
Nothing this evening, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Mrs. Marsh?
I don't have anything.
Mrs. Rotman, anything from the Clerk's Office?
Yes. As Councilman Gettings just stated, we have an election next Tuesday, November 2nd. All precincts in the city will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you need any assistance in locating your precinct, you can find that online on our city website, or you're welcome to call our office or stop in. We will be open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. this Saturday to get an absentee ballot, and if you'd like one mailed to you, the deadline for that is 5 p.m. this Friday. And that's it. Thank you. Please remember to vote.
Thank you. Councilor Rohrbach?
I wanted to also echo the sentiments of Mr. Bliss about Rosie's Park and the new playscape that's coming there. I can't say enough about it. I'm really excited. The playscape that it's replacing is, it needs it. It needs it. My kids spend a lot of time at that park, and it needs it. So I'm excited about that. But also Edison Park is getting the same playscape. The pictures of these playscapes are gorgeous. I'm so excited because it is going to be an enormous benefit to the whole community, but especially those residents who live close to those parks. They can walk and enjoy. Edison has been empty for a long time because we took out the playscape because it was dangerous and way past its safe usefulness. And I know that the residents in that community, in that neighborhood in particular, have missed it. And I'm really excited that they're going to get something way better than what they had before. So I'm thrilled for all of us. The Arts Board is putting on a pumpkin walk this Friday over here at Civic Center Park. The sign-ups for it are all full, but it should be a really wonderful event. If you've signed up and you decide not to come, please unsign up so that there's people on a waiting list that want to come. I want to also thank the fire department. They often send folks out to do like roast marshmallows and stuff at the Pumpkin Walk. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody out for that. And then I also want to commend our police department. They're working through the Michigan Law Enforcement Accreditation Commission accreditation process right now, and it's a monumental process to go through that. There's lots of combing as a fine-tooth comb through every process and every piece of paper and all the things that they have to do, and our police department is phenomenal. I want to thank everybody who works there for their hard work in getting to this point, and I wish them all good luck in the next week because the assessors are coming to town. So good luck and thank you. Oh, and vote, please.
All right, thank you. Councilman Fleming?
Yeah. I was just reading, we have a lot of new people in the city, so, people are coming and going, and so I want to let everybody know that it's fall time, so we have leaf pickup, and that goes until December, the middle of December to the first major snowfall, and so here in Madison Heights, we take all of our leaves and put them at the curb, and we have a giant vacuum truck that, I don't know what happens to them after that, to be honest. But also, I'm really happy to hear that the police department is getting an accreditation. I mean, we have a really great police department right now, and getting and validating getting the accreditation, I think, is really important. It puts us at a tier above some other police departments that may not have it, and it also backs up that we're doing everything along best policies at the police department also. And finally, I just want to talk about the business licenses. I think it's a great thing that we just did. There's a lot of businesses that, a lot of work that's being done to figure out, make sure they all have licenses. We have like one person working there, I believe, that's doing a lot of the work, Mary, who's working very hard on figuring that all out, and I really like to commend her. And that's basically it. I really appreciate City Council and all the staff and everyone welcoming me here to council. Thank you very much.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah, you can stand and bow. So not only was this a quick meeting, I think possibly Councilwoman Margine might remind me, but that might have been the quickest Councilman Bliss gave his final comments, too. I'm not sure, but I think so. And the pumpkin walk is a fun thing. One year I dressed up, I don't know what, some scary thing they put on me, and it's fun. I mean, I didn't scare the kids, but it got really, I was sweating to death in that thing, but it's a lot of fun. So if you can go out, hopefully it won't be raining, and you have a good time. So I talked about the Veterans Day. This year it's going to be November 11th on a Thursday. Just kind of a reminder, reach out to the veterans, any of them that you know. They all would appreciate some type of support or just a conversation. My father was a peacetime veteran in the Air Force, but he passed years ago. And my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, was a merchant marine in World War II. Overseas. So just keep them in mind. I went today to middle school for a volleyball game for a former basketball player that I coached before COVID. She did fantastic. It was so much fun to be in person to a sporting event. I did go to Lanford football and down in Madison schools, but it's something, indoor, and electricity was everywhere, it was just great. So she did a fantastic, a good job there, which leads me to the opportunity that's going to be coming out, hopefully, unless, something but COVID, but you can sign your child up for a park rec basketball this winter. It's in the Madison Heights Guide that came in the mail. It's a great learning experience, not only basketball skills, but sportsmanship, teamwork, and hard work and commitment. So it's a lot of fun. Also, the Madison Manor residents, about like 20 to 25, attended the Active Adult Committee that's just passed, and they had the opportunity to speak and get what was on their mind about the living conditions in, I guess, all three of the apartments, but particularly the manor. And this one gentleman said, you know, if I invite you to come down. So I said, yeah, I'll go with you. So I did. I met him down there. A lot of the stuff was fixed, but a lot of it wasn't. So I'm glad I went down there to see it for myself. And just to let everyone know that the city manager was involved in that, and we had a meeting. She was at the meeting as well. And so we're on top of it, and we're trying to expedite whatever needs to be done through the county and the state. And we're going to hold them accountable to it. So, all right, that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Just want to echo a couple of things that were already said. Councilman Fleming's, I don't know what the name of that is. I call it the leaf pickup vacuum thing. And it was interesting. I was talking to people in other cities, and I didn't realize that not everyone has that. It's great. You know, you take our leaves, we put them out on the road, and a big sucker comes along and takes them. So love that thing. I don't know what it's called, but it's like this giant, like an elephant or something. So yeah, that's great, and the leaves are starting to fall. With the accreditation process, yep, they're coming in, they're doing their interviews. I have my interview with them this week, and I don't think we're going to get the results for about another 3 or 4 months. I think February is when it's going to happen. It's a long process, but I have all the confidence in the world in our police department, and I know we're going to do just great with that. And I just, you know, this was great. Sometimes our meetings go on forever. Sometimes they're quick. I just want to make sure that everyone realizes, even though we voted on this in record time, we didn't come up with this a month ago. These changes have been talked about for a long time. You know, something happens and something else happens, and it finally snowballs, and this is it. And I think that if we had started by reading this entire packet, we would still be reading just this. So it's great that we were able to get through this nice and quick. But just keep in mind, when someone comes up with an idea, whether it's the mayor, or council, staff, a resident who brings it to us, there's very few times that we say, sure, we can do that tomorrow. There's a lot of work that goes into that. I want to remind everyone that the boards and commissions, all those meetings are open to the public. So if there is something that you're interested in, you can go and you can watch them. You can they have public comment. If you're interested in participating, I think most of them have subcommittees. And I mean, that's really it. It was a great meeting. I thank everybody who did the Citizens Academy. Thank you for taking the last, I think it was 8 weeks of your time to come out to that. Thank you to everyone who came out this evening. Our next meeting will be Monday, November 8th at 7:30. The time is now 8:17, and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Good night.